All right, it's been some time, but we have finally returned with Blue Otter League Season 9. Tonight is the group draw show where you see if your schedule is absolutely screwed because you got all the difficult teams or if you got a real good chance at playoffs. I'm Traxon. Joining me this evening is the Bully, and we have two guests for IBS since we're going to start off with Leper and Trash and our wonderful producer Pop Tart. How is everyone doing this evening? Are we good to be back?
I mean,
Sure.
I'm doing pretty good. I thought for a second though that you said your name was Ben sometime.
Yeah, not quite.
Okay.
It's been some time,
It
but
has.
yeah, it's getting rough, especially with the ongoing IRL commitments that everyone has. Unfortunately, during the off season, or not during the off season, last month, two of our admins had to step down because of IRL stuff. Billy got a new job that has him working 3 p.m. to basically he gets home at 12 a.m. every day.
Ooh.
I work until 6 every day, so we never have time to meet, and that's what kind of drew the ongoing issue of how can we get everything done. And then sickness came, and then that's when the Fire Nation attacked.
Yeah, it's been an interesting start. Working a couple jobs, going to school, stuff like that. Definitely cuts into the time that we have. But without further ado, let's kind of hop into the Iron, Bronze, and Silver League, which will consist of 16 teams. And we're going to break them into two divisions. 7 weeks of gameplay before we head into best of 5 playoffs. And Bully, do you want to break down playoffs for us for the IBS League?
Yeah, I mean, for most Plat players, they know this because we had it for a couple seasons. For a 16-team league, there'll be 2 divisions of 8 teams. Top 5 from each division will make it to playoffs, but seeds 4 and 5 from each group will be put in the wild card round, while seeds 1 and 3 from each group will get a first round bye. It'll give that 5th seed a little bit of a chance to make the dream run to try to win the whole thing, but it does give a little bit more leeway to how many teams make it to playoffs, and hopefully, if you get off to a bad start, you will have some opportunity to make a comeback.
Yep, fair enough. Yeah, so before we get into it, right, we have a very important question. This is going to be first to Leper. Leper,
Yeah.
how do you feel heading into this season of Blue Water League in IBS? How do you feel like your team is going to do?
Me personally, I don't know. I just sit on the bench and play solo queue.
All right, Trash, do you have any trash talk you could give us here, like way too early into the season?
I can't do the trash talk until the end. You got to save the hot takes for the very end, not at the start. I can't make everyone mad until I'm dipping.
We will come back to you then. And by very end, you mean like of this stream, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I guess without further ado, I think it's time to introduce the teams. Thankfully, this season, I'm 90% sure I can pronounce all of them, so that's exciting.
Yeah, we don't have any weeb teams.
Super weeb teams. That was so bad last year. Oh man! All right, without further ado, let's talk about the IBS team. 16 teams, starting off with CBDE Clowns, TD Syndicate, TD Dust, Revolutions per Minute, clever, CBDE Forsaken, Tectonic, SNC Sunset Ravens, SG Tau, TE Aeon, Event Horizon Kaizen, Mystic Cats Red, Glacial Omen, AH Danger Bunnies, CB Syndicate, Primal Orange, and SG Neutron. That's quite the
All
list.
right, give your pick to win it all right now without knowing the rosters, without knowing everything.
Oh, obviously it's Mystic Cats Red.
I'm a hot take right off the bat and say CB Syndicate's taking down TD Syndicate.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
the
gonna
two
be
syndicates. I was looking at that
I gotta-
earlier.
I
I was
gotta
like,
start-
oh, that's an interesting.
There has
one.
been some animosity between those two orgs. Let me tell you,
Oh.
they are trying to copy each other's names.
That's why I
So-
did it, just to start smoke.
So
at the very
I
start.
can't know any rosters or anything.
Yeah, and you have to put your life savings on it.
Mhm.
Oh man.
Oh wait, hold on.
For 0 cents, I'm just gonna go with the history of TD Syndicate.
Ooh.
Yeah, they
Okay.
do have a
I
strong
also
roster.
believe they are being coached by the Super Square himself. So I think that's somewhat of a recipe for success.
Yeah,
They did very well last season.
my real vote would actually have to be TD Syndicate as well.
So, I think another important question we have to ask ourselves here is: this is a new BOL season, and it is
Yep.
BOL. So, do we see the historical CB start, or have they proven in the past few seasons that they have gotten past that like initial introduction slump into the league?
I don't know, just given the history of CB
Mhm.
IBS teams, which seem to have somewhat deviated from that. I remember CB rookies in ZGG a number of years ago, where they started off super hot, looking undefeated, and then just absolutely collapsed and got slapped the first
Oh no,
round
they
of
had a
playoffs.
reverse. Oh no.
So I don't know. And with their recent merger with Big Duck Entourage, it's a question of whether or not those things continue. I don't think so.
All right.
I mean, we also have the return of TE Aeon, which made the semifinals run last season.
Yeah.
They were slept on early in the season, and then people were like, "Oh wait, this team is actually really good," and they are coming back for a revenge arc. And I think this season for IBS, there's more variety. In terms of like, honestly,
Mhm.
I don't know who's actually going to be good. Of course, the CD Syndicate is going to be a big bet. But there are some names that I can see making a deep run and possibly just making sure that TD Syndicate can't have a perfect season like last season.
I think I said it last time with the first season of BOL IBS, but I felt that last season was the most competitive IBS league ever. From like top to bottom, everybody was relatively close. Like there wasn't a huge gap. Like TD Syndicate was a cut above, and I think that some of the other teams are a little bit of a cut below. But for the most people, it was whoever won on any given week. And like from what you're saying, it might be the same kind of thing with season 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely something that I always enjoyed, especially like when you look back and Bully's talking about playoffs and you have that miracle run. We've had some Seed 4 teams make it all the way, and it's always been a lot of fun root for the underdog. So we'll see. Hopefully it's another close season. That's something that we really try to put forth is the competition between the teams when we do select them. So we're hoping it's another good season.
Yeah, and just one thing to note: this season, there will be an IBS mod. It will be Old Man Genetics. He's been pretty active in the scene for the last couple of seasons. We brought him on to be an IBS. Of course, there's no condo teams in IBS, so he's gonna have no COY. He's brand new, so he's learning. Mainly because I cannot be here 4 days a week, or I will have to go to a hospital or something. But I know it's going to be pretty tough early on, so please bear with him. I'll be here as much as we can. But one big thing is please never assume anything. If you have a question, just go ahead and ask. We'll try to get your answer as soon as possible. And then some people might question our acceptance of Glacial Omen. We saw what happened last season, and I know Leper's like, huh. What happened there?
I mean, it has been a great topic of questions in the simple questions chat.
Yeah, I think so. I actually had a discussion with the team themselves, and I believe the captain of Glacial Omen is more willing to take ownership of the entire team. They gave me a heartfelt message, and I think they can actually be pretty decent in the league. I don't think we'll have as many problems, if any, that we did last season. So hopefully they can bring back and trying to change the name of the Glacial Omen Curse, or Glacial Curse of asking for 20 subs every week.
Good question. Well,
Yep.
I guess question and a statement here. One, what is it, the IBS Glacial team or the Vi pick within the league that is more cursed?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to talk about Vi
The
picks.
0-7 Vi players within BOL. Watch yourself if you play Vi within the league. It's gonna get ugly. And 2, it also helps when your entire team subscribes to BOL Plus. You do get into the league. Just throwing
Yeah.
out there. Any
All right.
BOL
Yeah,
Plusers in chat.
Heck, Billy time, boys. Get that BOL plus. Get it in there.
All right. I mean, without further ado, we talked about a little
Mhm.
bit of these teams. We could talk a little bit more, but it's time to bring the wheel of misfortune back, as we all come to hate.
Yeah, that beautiful sound. Honestly, let's see who the first team in Piltover is. Something that before we roll, we do want to state that we have a couple teams who have submitted, or a couple orgs that have submitted multiple teams in some of these leagues. So we do have a 2 org limit to each division. So for example, Conduit, you can only see 2 Conduits in Piltover or Zon.
Bruh, that's gold.
I know.
They don't know
It's an
Conduit.
example. Okay, you know what? Sorry. If there are more than 2 TDs, you can only have 2 TDs in Piltover or Zon, but there's only 2 TDs, so it really doesn't matter for IBS. But something we're going to
one.
state.
The only one is actually CB, so they have 3
True.
teams. So that is
There you go.
where it comes to matter. But anyway, I'm gonna roll the first one, get this stuff started.
Yeah. So first name for Piltover. I can't actually see it.
That is
I think I broke
Tectonic.
my Discord. All right, Tectonic.
Yeah, Tectonic team. That's it's actually a team of nameless admins, basically. If anyone knows who that is, but they're relatively new. Never seen them play. So I pretty much no understanding of what happened. Traxon, you could go over to basically name some of the players on their team if you want.
Yeah, I could. I just have to find them on the roster. Some of the players we have: Shadow Wolf Blaze, Red Nick, Phoenix, Maximus, and Hiccup for a time.
Oh, like the OG nameless adamants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and roll another one, and we could talk about
Okay.
after we roll like 4 total. We'll talk a little bit more.
So next up, it is going to be in Zon. Yeah, I ended up breaking my Discord stream, so I had to fix that real quick.
Well, it is revolutions per minute, and Leper will be able to talk a lot about them in a little bit. Wait, why is it showing different for?
Because this says age danger bunnies for me.
For me, it says revolution. We'll
it
go with
says
the age
danger
danger buddies. Then.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening.
It's every year we do this.
Why
wheel,
is it
and
showing
every
mine
year...
different? I'm the one
Okay.
that's spinning the wheel.
So no.
Okay.
It's
Alright,
a
well-
draw show tradition.
Yeah, this wheel is probably the most skillful wheel of all time. I think I'm better off getting a dartboard, right? Putting a team on every number and just throwing darts blind and see what happens. I think people will pay big money for that one.
We'll probably come up with a new system next season for the wheel.
AH Danger Bunnies. All right.
Yeah, AH Danger Bunnies up next in Zon. So we have our first 2 teams. What do we got next? Let's spin it for Tectonic.
Yep. And it is snake style, so it is Zon again, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Spin it for Zon. My apologies.
We did say Zon. I just wanted to clarify for the audience.
TBDE Cloud.
Ooh. All right.
And then I'll spin one more time, and then we could discuss a little bit.
CB Syndicate. So we got a chance still for both syndicates to be in the same league.
Oh, that'll be a war zone right there. I can't wait to see something like that happen.
TDS and CDS, it's going to be confusing for casters, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be awful.
Yes, it will.
And the syndicate memes will come out. To touch on 8 Danger Bunnies, we have Yeti87 at the top, Emperor Bareth, the Lord JK, 8 Major, Rare, and TES 420 on 8 Danger Bunnies. CBDE Clowns. This is we have PBF up in the top lane, One Hand, CB Kills, CBXL, the man, the myth, the legend himself, and of course, don't forget about CB Cream Cheese in the bot lane.
I'm liking this roster right here. I mean,
PBF
Excel,
like Dory K PBF?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it's him. He's
Okay.
done with Wild Rift because Wild Earth is done in NA basically.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize he was IBS eligible.
He is.
But okay, that's awesome.
But we got some more individuals in CB Syndicate that we have to mention. You might recognize some of these people from around the scene. Up in the top lane, CB Kermit, Bardo Jr., Red-Faced Beast, The Scout, 666, Ender Fridge, and King Ballista.
Okay.
So far, what are we thinking of these two leagues, or these two divisions?
You've got some historically powerful names here.
Mm-hmm.
People that have competed many divisions up. Like, of these four, the one I'm the most interested to see is AH Danger Bunnies. This is a bunch of players that have just kind of, if I'm remembering right, have been clustered together for a while under different teams. They kind of gravitate towards each other. Tectonic is also going to be interesting because these people I haven't seen compete in a league in like 2 years.
I mean, yeah, they're actually pretty solid. As like 3 of them actually was like silver 1. They don't have a cap exception, but
Right.
3 of them ended silver 1. 1 of them ended silver 2. So
I mean,
ideally, a very strong team.
Yeah, they used to run a very, very fantastic org. I don't know, but though actually of all of these teams, CB Syndicate is the one I know the least about. Like, the Scout has been a solid player over the past several seasons. It's nice to see Emperor Barrett in the league for AH Danger Bunnies. I don't have the most to say.
Yeah, I mean, CBDE looks pretty interesting. I feel like an XL cream cheese bot lane is going to be terrifying to face. Then one hand going to the jungle. I've seen him play bot pretty well and top over in ASL, which I have a lot more knowledge about. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do in the jungle rather than playing a lane. So I think that's going to be a fun team to watch. And Syndicate, I mean, they're coming from CB, and from what I've seen, CB tends to always put out pretty solid teams. So I feel like they could be pretty strong too, even though I don't know a ton about their individual players.
All right, fair enough. Well, I think it's time to spin one more for Piltover since we're doing Snake, right? Or am I just losing my mind here?
Yep, we are, and spin.
SG Neutron.
Ooh.
Coming in with SG Manny up in the top lane. Using Q for You, Granted X, Warning Shots, another historic name within the league, and Jake Verde.
Yep, and I'm going to go ahead and roll again.
Okay. SNC Sunset Ravens. What's exciting about this team is I said I don't care anymore, and we let them use the original logo that we did not let them use last season. So here it is, SNC Sunset Ravens in all its glory of their Microsoft.
Oh, that is amazing.
Oh, that is beautiful. I now want them to win the whole split. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I was like, I don't have time to make them redo it this season. They're gonna let it go. We're gonna let it go through whatever. Up in the top lane, it is SNC Wildstar with SNC Lost Havoc, Only Magical Girls. I have no clue how to say that name. Zandra.
I don't either, and I can barely spell it. Yeah.
I don't know. SNC Nebulous, SNC Grimjo, Love Ray, Moppet, and SNC Zadie. I apologize if I butcher your names. Maybe make them easier next time. So that's the SNC Sunset Ravens roster. And let's give it another rip, see who we got in Zon now. ED Dust.
Ooh.
This team is basically... It's just a mixture of a bunch of teams of last year. It's basically like the SG... Well, it's close. There's definitely a lot of known players here.
Yeah, we have Blocker Duck, SG Vesuvius, TD Pandorum, J Rend Rex, Haley Victoria, and Vampiric Narwhal. Definitely some names that we've seen from around the league and our league specifically in the previous season.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll add another one. Let's see.
Yeah, what do we got? Last one for this before we start chatting.
The the
CBDE
names aren't getting
Forsaken.
messed up.
Yeah,
Oh, actually,
it looks like they're about to start.
looking kind of sus.
They're starting to get messed up. Maybe we
Oh,
should like
no.
stretch them out a little bit. That's
Nope.
the only issue that we have. Okay.
We are gonna. Oh, we're gonna have really bad time with the gold.
32
Good
teams.
luck.
That was a mistake. Okay, but yeah, the CBD Forsaken, and on that roster, let me just find them real quick because every team decided they wanted to start with CB or CBDE. We have Stay Franken, Lapino Yeet, Little IQ98, CB Lund, and Sap Sweet. So we've added 2 teams to Piltover and 2 teams to Zon. How do we feel about these 2 divisions right now?
It's interesting that the teams with players that I know ended up in Zon, and the teams with players I don't know outside of Warning Shot ended up at Piltover.
Well,
All right, so then tell me a little bit about Zon then. What are your thoughts
Well,
on the strength of
I
Zon?
think
And
that these two, as Cincy Sunset Ravens is for the most part retaining their core with some like new players like OMG going over to Sunset Ravens, since there doesn't seem to be any GSG teams happening right now, is interesting to traditionally or historically a top tier IBS mid laner that gives SNC Sunset Ravens some firepower. What did they finish? They finished second last time in their division, if I'm remembering right. TD Dusk should be solid. Like now, if I had known that roster ahead of time, it's definitely a roster that I fully expect to be near the top of things. I'm also super curious to see Warning Shot appear in IBS, given that he has been a player, at least in my mind, who's been like on that bubble of competing in low gold, like around that IBS level. To see him actually in an IBS league would be interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I'm wondering how long he is playing the league.
I-
As I don't know the last time he actually.
You asked me
Finished the league.
to adhere to Twitch terms and service.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I personally helped build Neutron, so I do know a lot about its players.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie, Warning Shot definitely looks really good. And him and his support get along very well, so I feel like they can be a very strong bot lane. Using Q also looks like a strong jungler. I don't think they're the strongest roster that SG is putting out this year, but I think they can definitely be that underdog team that can prove themselves to be really good players.
fair.
Solid.
All right,
I'm gonna go
Leopard,
ahead and keep spinning because otherwise it's gonna
get
take
a
like
hot
6
take
hours.
real quick. One hot take, and then we'll go. Who has the higher odds of finishing a season out on the same team? Warning Shot or Finny?
Oh,
Well,
this is getting toxic.
So here's the thing. Finny has already swapped rosters in ASL, so I think Warning Shot already won.
The problem is I've actually seen Finny finish seasons with a roster.
Hey, you know, I got
So
hope.
so
I
that's
got
that's
hope.
my answer. Is just based on the things that pop into my brain. The answer is Finny.
Warning loves
Okay.
his ADC, so I think he might stay just because he loves his ADC.
Hey,
I
you know
got
what?
All right.
Just a note,
for his support.
just to see my dedication. There was a farewell happy hour at my work today, and I
Oh.
decided I didn't go just so I could do this. So you're welcome.
Dang,
Well, we
Please
That's
appreciate
subscribe
it,
to my
Bully.
OnlyFans.
it's worth it.
Is that included with the BOL Plus subscription?
Probably.
Well, yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and spin again.
Yep, let's run it. In Piltover, what's the next team we got going for us? ED.
Oh,
yes!
No.
Yes!
Oh,
Let's go.
man.
Okay,
Syndicate
so we
and
need
CB Syndicate.
the other Subatomic Gaming in Piltover, so that there's 2 teams
It'll be a
with
war
every
zone.
starting letter.
They all just
it'll be a
cannibalize
war
each other.
zone.
Okay,
Alright.
so TD Syndicate, Zach's gaming up in the top lane. Farinda, Lemon Sap, Iron Sniper, Helium Bamboo. Interesting name. Wait, no. Yeah,
I think
sorry.
you got that wrong. I think you just said it.
What? No, it's Helium Bamboo. I'm looking at the roster right now.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
what a great name. Rhyme is, and I think we have a slight issue with the roster. I think there's a duplicate. It is Vampiric Narwhal as the substitute. I think that's something that needs to get cleared up before.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a good team on paper. Let's roll the next 2 now for Zon. Mystic Cats Red, the clear favorite to win the tournament if you're Traxon. Don't ask me why. I just, I'm
Do they have a
rooting
good
for 'em.
logo?
It's the same
They
logo as
do.
normal.
That's a pretty good logo.
It's a
Pretty
normal
solid.
logo.
It's pretty solid.
Do they have another one? I thought they had a red one.
No, it has like an MC normally at the below, but like it doesn't transfer
Oh.
particularly
The
well.
words.
What about the words?
That's
Oh
not
no.
good. Oh, well.
Oh man.
Okay,
Oh,
let's run
okay.
another one for Zonda.
Oh, I never replaced
Oh, wait.
TD Syndicate. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. Spin wheel. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh man.
This one's easy though.
Glacial Omen. So, starting roster for Mystic Cats Red, it is Urcha, Seismic, Bean, Greg Boy, Pedestrian 1379. And let's now take a look. They were actually one of the first teams to register this season. Let's take a look at Glacial Omen, Frosty Legend up top, Mortis, I Smurf on Zed. Just an idea, maybe you ban Zed. Cola123, L Sword the Fourth, GST Mucker, and GST Billy. That's why he can't make it tonight.
That's because he has to play in IBS. He has to Smurf in IBS. Oh no. All right.
All right, we got one more. Yeah. One
Did I do
more
it?
for
All right,
Piltover,
okay.
and we'll start talking about the teams within the divisions after that.
That
All
looks
right,
like
Tenniverse Esports Aeon. Yep. That is it. Aeon.
Oh,
Poor
man.
wheel. Has seen better days.
All right. Maybe I like
Maybe
have
you need to
fix this or
expand it a
something.
little bit. Yeah, TE Aeon up in the top lane, none other than the Glizzy Gobbler, TE
Oh.
Rennick, Drunk Sleep, Jig Bean, and Karma Legend to round out the roster.
Oh, that's
So-
a lot of repeats.
Yeah. What are your thoughts so far on these
I
two
mean,
new teams in each division?
it's
Do we got
hard
chances here?
to find a team more stacked than Syndicate. Lemon Sap, in my mind, the best mid laner in BOL IBS last time. Zake's one of the best tops laners in all the IBS leagues. Last split, Verinda, jungler from a top 4 team at IBS Worlds. I don't know if anybody has changed their names in the bottom lane, but like that's a super solid core right
Mhm.
there. Mystic Cats Red, unfortunately, I don't know any of your players. Glacial Omen, unfortunately, I don't know any of your players. If you've convinced Bully to let you in, though, that shows a really good sign of your dedication.
It's whatever. Plus 25. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I hope not.
TE Aeon, like that was a really slept on team last time, and for them to be keeping at least their whole top side, Glizzy Gobbler, TE Rennick. TE Rennick was a fantastic jungler last split. I'm really, really interested to see what they all do together, especially now that they're not all rookies, now that they have a better idea of what is coming their way. I'm really, really curious to see what they do. I
Yeah.
expect great things.
All right.
You know, I know you said you struggle to find a team stacked like Syndicate, but I don't think we can count out Dusk. I feel like Dusk also looks pretty stacked, you know? Not everyone likes Pando, but I don't think you can count him out as a solid mid laner at the very least. And Vesuvius, you know, while I like to dunk on Vesuvius because he don't know how to work Discord, he's also pretty useful in the jungle. He's a pretty stable player. So I think they could also be very competitive here, facing up against Syndicate.
All right. Fair enough. We have two more teams, and then we need to talk about the group of life and the group of death. So kind of have those thoughts in the back of your mind while we roll these next two. Well, let's start with Piltover.
We could still have 2 CDs.
It's
and
true.
President
We got we got a chance here.
All right. At least I fixed the names, kind of.
I know it's just PO.
Oh,
That's
it is Pio.
That's PO. All right, Primal Orange in Piltover. Who probably had the most difficult logo to fix, by the way, just throwing it out there. Shout out to Pop Tart, who was able to remove all the extra color outside of it.
Pop-Tart's the GOAT.
What have we got in Zon? See what we got. Give it a rip.
Give it a rip. If I could find this tab. All right, cool.
I think it's Kaizen. Definitely Kaizen.
Kaizen.
I don't know why I said
It's Kaizen.
Kaizen.
Ooh.
It's
Just
not.
kidding. It is revolutions per minute, which is Leper's team.
Yeah.
How do you feel being picked in this division? You feeling good, or would you
mean,
rather be
I
Piltover?
I think like just given some of the players that I like to play against, I'm happy with Zon, but I'm just
All
a
right.
sub, so like I'm
Mhm.
fine with this.
All right. Let's see the last team in Zon. Is it going to be SG Tau or
Man, you are
Guys-
like 0 for 6.
Well, I'm
Hey,
just giving
hey,
it
you
an
know
option.
what? For the sake of the casters, this is the best outcome to put Kaizen over here. Let's be real.
Yeah, we got Event Horizon Kaizen with Buddhist Dragon TT up in the top. Then we got Zigify, Spat, Gaming Nerd, and Moosey Kitten.
Yeah, and that means
Kaizen looks good.
SG Tau will actually be in Piltover.
Oh, I misread. Oh, my,
So
the
Primal
poor
Orange is
casters.
the lone team without any duplicate letters.
The poor casters.
Yeah. Good luck this season in IBS. That's all I'm gonna say. If
So
you're casting it.
I was gonna say that I felt like Piltover was the scarier group to be in, but then Kaizen got over in Zon. And Kaizen, just hearing their name might not bring the same attention as hearing like TD or CB or SG, but Kaizen looks disgusting right now. They're playing that same roster in ASL, and they look like a top 3 team in ASL, almost unarguably. So they could come here and be very, very strong if they play like they are in ASL, coming here to BOL. So I think that'll be really fun to see happen.
It's
All right.
there's always they have Fritz. There's always a team that comes out of nowhere and like is absolutely dominant. Last season it was TE Aeon that nobody really expected to do super well. Whooper Academy also you could say that for, but they fell off near the end. So there definitely are going to be teams and rookies and people that we've never experienced before that are gonna show up and surprise us. A lot of what's said here is based off of just familiarity with names and organization and nothing more.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
Leper. Who wins
Yeah.
it?
Who wins it in terms of like the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Syndicate. Like there's no doubt in my mind that if you put a gun to my head right now and said you need to pick one of these teams to win the entire thing, it's TD Syndicate.
All right. What do you think, Trash?
I gotta disagree. I'm
Okay.
going with Dusk.
All right.
Uh,
Bully, what are your thoughts here?
I'm going with Glacial Omen.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a bit of a advantage over you guys. Let me pull it out real quick. All right, looking at my
We got the script? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Dang.
Oh man.
S&C Sunset Ravens.
Subscribe for the script, guys. Subscribe
Yep.
for the script.
BOL Plus if you would
So-
like to see the script.
I mean, there's no telling. Last split, we had an entire division change its order on the last day due to everything.
I
Mhm.
do have insider info on Tau, something that not everyone will know. So Tau, I know a lot of the names aren't gonna jump you up until you hear their coaching staff. Tau is run by the coachless tyranny squad. Every single player is being coached by a coachless tyranny player, and the team overall is being coached by coachless tyranny. So if you don't recognize the name coachless tyranny, you might recognize names like
do they have-
Downfall, Bickle, Netis.
The real
They
question
have a wild squad.
is how are they coach this tyranny but have like 50 coaches?
Maybe they should
Exactly.
be coach full
Exactly.
tyranny.
But coachless tyranny is now the coaches. I don't know, but I feel like if you know Bickle, Bickle's a genius, so he might be able to turn this roster into something. But I don't know. I feel like Dusk and Kaizen are the teams to watch right now.
All right. Fair enough. Well, you have it here. Your teams in Piltover and your teams in Zon will make a wonderful graphic for you in a little bit. We will be working on rosters starting probably tomorrow since this is going to be
yeah.
late night tonight.
Yeah. So
And
about roster sheets and roles. One, do not request your role. They'll be made when we'll put out rosters. Rosters will be out Saturday night. It might be late night, like 3 a.m. night. So that'll be out at some point. But yeah, don't spam a roster or role assignments with please give me this role.
And in terms of schedules, the schedules will hopefully be out before you play your games next week. I'll let you know. Obviously, that's a joke. They'll be out soon. With that, though, we're going to take a quick break as we get ready to put the absurd amount of goal teams that we have in the league this season and get the what I imagine is going to be a catastrophic failure on the side of our little wheel that could. We're going to do a quick break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes with the Gold Wheel of Death. All right, we are back once again with the Season 9 Draw Show. This time, we got the Gold League. Joining us is a $ AP-ish and Feathers and FUR. How's you two doing today?
I'm doing
all right.
fantastic.
All right, good to hear. Well, I'm going to be honest with you. We kind of have to jump right into it because we have more than 4 gold teams this season, and we have to fly
We
through.
have 4.5.
There we go. We have 4.5 gold teams this season. 32 teams, 4 divisions. Bully. It's pretty much the same thing as last season. For the most part, you have your 4 divisions that you'll be playing within your division this season. Bully, you want to touch on playoffs real quick?
Yeah, I mean, with 32 teams, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. It's going to be 4 teams, or 8 teams, 4 groups, and top 4 from each group will make it to playoffs. There'll be a 16-team playoff bracket, best out of 5, winner take all, single elimination. You lose, you're out in playoffs, and it should be a wild one.
Yeah, we got a lot of teams. A lot of stuff can happen, so we're excited for it, especially since playoffs are going to be best of 11
20,
this year.
1.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Best of 21. But I'm excited. Without further ado, let's start for Demacia. I managed to break
honestly,
my Excel file. That's good to
This
see.
wheel is going to die. Oh, you can't even see anything.
Oh no!
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, that's a good wheel.
Hold on. Let's see.
I'd like to buy a
Oh,
vowel.
no.
Let's see if we can make this easier.
What?
If not, I'm taking the top 16 teams and then
Yeah,
next
that's
16
fine.
teams.
I can random sort 16 teams for you, and then we could go from there.
You
Just
guys
kidding,
can't read that?
No, sadly.
Uh,
Well,
wish I
no,
could.
I'm going to delete 16 teams from the bottom. We'll take those 16 teams after because this is
Okay.
going to be impossible.
Oh no. And again, a reminder, we did mention it in IBS, but for those of you tuning in because you only care about gold, we are only allowing 2 teams of the same org per division. So because we have 72 CB teams, only 2 will be in each division here.
All right, let's see how that looks.
That looks a lot better.
Does it? All right, thank God. All right,
Mhm.
I'm going to
All
go
right.
ahead and start.
Demacia, what do we got? Yeah.
And let's go with 8 teams before we start talking about them.
That's fine. CB Masquerade and Demacia. And then, Bully, what division would you like to go next? Ionia or Nox?
It's going to be to the right.
All right, we'll go Ionia. Let's spin it. Whenever you're ready.
Going Ghost.
Going Ghost. All right. So definitely we know a little bit about these teams so far. We've seen them around the block. What do we got for Noxus? EZG Arcadia. And whenever you're ready, we'll go right into Freljord. CN Crawdaddies, who I believe are rebranding. I just don't know what they're rebranding to yet.
Probably CN Craw Mommies? I don't know.
I have no idea. He asked like 10 minutes before the draw show. I was like,
It's like,
no,
let's see.
that is not going to work. Are we doing Snake or we're going back to Demacia here?
Keep snaking.
Ooh. Edinburgh TE Phantasm.
Wait, no, that's clinical.
Wait, no clinical? Oh, no, you're right. You're right. That is clinical. I got so
Come
caught
on,
up in
man.
trying to read what was next to it.
Come on, man.
All right, so we got 2 teams in Freljord. Second team now in Noxus. The Epidemic. What do we got in Ionia? Sorry, we're outpacing you here, Pop Tart. We're speedrunning this right now. PE Eternity. I'm like 90% sure that's what that
Wait,
says.
isn't the J supposed to be in front of the L in Freylord?
Oh, good. We move on.
We're in the Frey... the
No,
Freljord.
I think
I
this is
think-
right, actually.
I think the L is silent.
Yeah, no, I
true.
think we're
What is
good. I think
this?
we're good.
Eternity?
Yeah, TE Eternity. No, that's good. That's good.
All right.
All right, second team in Demacia. You said we're doing 8 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you guys can talk about it. Hyperion Gaming.
Hyperion Gaming Heretic. All right. You want to talk about rosters first?
Yeah, you could go through rosters.
Let me find these wonderful teams on the vetting sheet. Starting at the top, we're going to talk about Masquerade. Off in the top lane, SG Jack, SG Vesuvius, TD Pandorum, CB Dolly, TBG Lund, and Vampiric Narwhal. We've definitely seen a few of these players already rostered in IBS, so we'll see what they're able to do in the Gold League. And then we'll talk about DZG Arcadia. We got Bagopa QC up in the top lane, JFK Senior. We have Definite and Jaken on DCG Arcadia. The Epidemic, XMB up in the top lane, Singular Bread, Telos, Calm Guy, and Jaster. If you haven't played in BOL, these are definitely some historic names from pretty much the start of the league as well. They've been around. Great to see them back.
I think they removed Jacer.
F's
They have
in
Reximus
chat for
Prime.
Jaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
They have Reximus Prime as a support.
Okay. We see the return of Going Ghost from last season with Zork up in the
Reximus.
top lane. Mini Beast, JRNTR, Billosaurus, Lucasites, and Kill Guy. I'm doing my best with these names. I'm probably butchering some of them. I apologize. Then we have Hyperion Gaming Heretics with Washed Cycle off in the top lane, Jesus Juice 13, the Fox of the Fire 1, Ghost Machine, and Pink Penguin. And I believe I have covered all of them except for EE Eternity.
No, I think you also missed one more.
I think
You
clinical.
would be, yes. You know what?
Clinical.
Thank you.
I
Clinical
don't.
and TE
Yeah.
Eternity. Yeah, TE Eternity. So we have TE Orm in the top lane, Abound, Banana Bread, Toxic Koopa, Atreus, TE, Locust, Cade. And let me find the clinical roster, which would be Bunny Killer 96, Pharma, Fast Beyond Light, Maya, Manaka, Type 3, Bad Leroy. I almost said Battle Roy. I don't know. Maybe one of
Oh,
the
I
two.
feel like they removed Type 3. I forget.
And
Maybe
King
not.
Ares Rax. Yeah, some of these rosters are subject to change potentially based off of the feedback we get in the individual applications. But yeah, those are the 8 teams that we've talked about so far. We'll start off with Feathers and Fur. What are your thoughts so far on these 4 divisions?
Yeah, I'll go with a hot take right off the start.
Wow, I'd love to hear it.
Looking at this, if I had to go through the first 8, I'd say Ionia is the group of death right now. Again, I hope to be proven wrong on that. If we're looking at going Ghost, again, Zork, Mini, Kilgar, that's a solid gold roster that's been around for a long time. And Tenebris is also well known as an excellent organization. They've got a lot of talented people. Again, I saw Toxic on there, Locust is as well. Right now, again, if I was circling on a streamed game that I would want to see, based off of the 8 teams right now, going Ghost versus TE Eternity would be my pick. So that's what I'll say as a start.
Okay, what are
I
your
like
thoughts
to-
here, Ish? Oh, sorry.
Wait 1 second.
Cool.
I like to
Apologies,
point
boys.
out Clinical did upgrade their logo quite a bit
Mm-hmm.
from the first season they played here a couple seasons ago. I think that was like a year ago. But
Yeah, I
upgraded
like to
logo, maybe upgraded team.
I like to see the evolution of the logo each season. It's always quite interesting. What are your thoughts, though, Ish, so far on the Gold League?
Straight off, looking at these 8 teams, I think the team with Singular Bread, I think you said it was Crawdaddies or
It's the Epidemic. I
Epidemic.
believe.
Epidemic.
Epidemic. Okay, yes, I think Epidemic from these 8 teams is the strongest team. And then, yeah, I would agree with Feathers so far. Right now, Ionia seems to be the group of death, but these are just 2 teams so far. I've seen Fire of Fox on Hyperion. He's a solid mid laner. Interested to see how he does with a new team. And yeah.
I don't know. Telos is too busy playing TFT to actually play ranked League of Legends.
Uh-oh. How many games is he short? Let's
I don't know. Let's see if he's playing AP York again.
The other thing I'll shout out is that, again, CB Masquerade, again, I'm sure we're going to spend about 7 to 8 minutes over the course of the Gold Leagues talking about CB, but shout out again to SG Jack. There, I get the feeling by the end of this, people are going to spend a lot less time talking about this CB team. We've already kind of glossed them over a little bit, but there is a lot of talent there. I think, again, when it all comes down, they may not be mentioned among, I see CB Hydra among others there, but I think, again, it's a very strong team, and all of these divisions right now look strong. I just wanted to highlight Ionia.
All right, fair enough. Well, for those of you interested, when we first did the audit, Telos was at 5 ranked games in the 2023 season. Telos is now at 7 ranked games in the 2023 season. Doing his best out here. We'll see if he makes it. Definitely something we could keep track here. All right, though, let's start rolling again. Let's start off in Demacia and see what additional team we get to add to that division. Conduit Esports
It's
Goblins.
It's okay. We're taking away one of the long names. It's good.
We're getting there. Yeah, if we could
We're
take
getting
those
there.
out before they're unreadable. That would be great. So Conrad Esports Goblins, Dobbs up in the top lane, Vandrel, GVG number 1, Bam, and Beast Eric 1, 2, 3 for that roster. What?
There's no 4. There's no 4. Let's go to the next one.
Up next, team in Ionia. It is the return of the Literal Monkeys with, by the way, a new logo this.
Bring back the old Monkeys logo.
Oh, no. You think they're trying to tell us like what they want their abbreviation to be out of curiosity with the MKY?
Maybe.
It's Litmon. Just call him Litmon. There you go.
Oh, yeah. I remember for like 3 or 4 seasons, I was flexing and I kept messing up their abbreviation.
Do you want to say the roster or should I just
Yep, we're going to go Tiny Spy, MIT Zoomer, Mother Quarter, Antion, and 19 Naked Cowboys is their
Some of
roster.
these names are just
Nice.
ridiculous.
There's definitely a
Some of
few
these names,
that
I
cut
feel
short.
like they get in the game. They're playing game. Everyone's like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a good game, guys."
And they
And
see
then they
that and
see
they're
on their
like, "Oh,
team, their
crap."
support Yumi is 19 Naked Cowboys, and they're like, "What is this?" And then they start spamming FFF15.
Yeah, let's see what we get next in Nox, though.
Bin.
Yeah, definitely some interesting names this season, that's for sure. Loun Gaming IT in Noxus.
Oh wait, you have the thing showing up at the bottom. So we could
What
have
do I
had
do?
32 teams.
Oh. Yeah, look at that. That just started, I guess.
Oh well.
No, you know what? We learn something every day, and we've learned that we are not good at the wheel.
I think the wheel is as bad at being a wheel.
Fair enough. Calling Gaming IT, I feel like we might get some inside information on this. Up in the top lane, none other than the Feathers and Fur, Occupational Hazard, Dragonic 70, Sparky Human, Fantasy Star, and Diamandus. So,
Yes, sir.
knowing that you've been pulled into Noxus, what are your thoughts so far? Are you happy so far with what you've seen? I will probably ask you this question throughout as well.
Thus far, again, it's really nice to have the opportunity to go back against Brett. The Epidemic's got a lot of people from former like friend zone and
Mhm.
veteran players, and the fact that they didn't invite me back says a lot. Obviously, that'll make a nice rivalry game. Again, I faced TCG teams both this split in a couple weeks as well as last split. A fantastic organization, nothing but respect for them. But certainly, again, having seen a couple of other things, I'm content right now, and I'm waiting to eat my words when it comes back and we get an absolutely a super strong team coming back here to fill us out in Noxus. So,
All right. Let's go over to Freljord then, and we'll once we get the additional 8 teams,
Mhm.
we'll go back to both of you. It's a conduit team, I'm pretty sure. What is this supposed to be? Oh, Conduit Esports Sussers. Thankfully, we have the bottom text to tell us what we're looking at. Oh, no. All right, Conduit Esports Sussers. Let's pull them up real quick. I just have to find them in the list. All right, so we have the KPT up in the top lane. All no-name. Dr. Shrouds, DZG, Slothman, Ferox, and CBXL. So definitely a lot of repeat names that we've seen on previous teams kind of coming together to make this conduit team here. We got one more team in Freljord we have to roll for, though. What do we think, Ish? What do you think it is?
What are we thinking? Based on the text, the only one that I can see is CB Hydra, so we'll go with CB Hydra.
All right. Oh, no. Hey, there you go. CB Hydra. Got it. All right, so the second CB team that we see up in Freljord. Find them on the quick list, and we'll talk about their team. Oh, we're spinning it. All good. Before we get to it, we have Ocean, Split Breed, Wupong, Rivered, and Trucks. really good team for CB Hydra, but we did just pull Slurp Squad into Noxus. Let me find them real quick.
This is a team that played last season. They
Yeah.
think they gave it a good run. Unfortunately, they came up just short.
Ooh.
The
This
one thing I'm going to
season-
say,
Mhm.
one thing I'm going to say again, thank you to Slurp Squad. I think again we are now winning the best logo in all the divisions altogether. Noxus now just because of Slurp Squad, not because of the rest of us, but Slurp Squad has elevated us substantially. So thank you for that.
I agree.
Fair. And I'm going to be honest with you, Slurp Squad is confident this season, as you can see by their names. We have Elena 18 up in the top lane, SS Slurp God in the jungle, SS Dead in the mid lane, SS Hamill at ADC, and Samuel Key at support.
All right, and this last roll will basically determine who gets.
Mhm.
And
The
let's see.
names are impossible to read. I have no clue what the options are at the moment, but we're going to find out what we get. TE Phantasm.
Yeah, and I think there's one more possible TE team,
Mhm.
and that means they cannot be in this division.
Yes.
So they have to go to Demacia.
Well, they would go.
They would go to the next one right
and
after.
the
gotcha.
other three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They'll be basically like skipped on that one, and then the
Mm.
next pick will go back to Ionia or whatever. Theoretically, if it was the third one.
I
And then
think
the
this-
last one is RCG Abyssal Nightmare is going to be slotted into Demacia.
All right.
Fantastic. We gave it a
And
good effort.
while you get those next couple ready to rock and roll, we'll talk about the two rosters that we just added, and then we'll kind of go over the four teams that we now see in each division. We're going to start off talking about RCG Abyssal Nightmare. Up in the top lane, it is Peo 33170, modified, calmed, Sunbird Kitsune, and Spoils. And let's find TE Phantasm now. And that roster consists of weak side Ornn. Maybe just a suggestion. I'm not a professional draft analyst. Maybe you don't let them play Ornn. Technics, Belby, Grim, Daffrey, and Fox Stepbro. So, we're going to start off with Feathers here. You see now half of each division, basically. What are your thoughts on your competition in Noxus? And then, would you rather be in another division, potentially?
Again, I'm going to quickly shout out Ionia. I still think that is going to be an absolute banger of a division. Like with both with two Tenebrous teams plus Litmon. With again, I'm not calling them monkeys, but obviously Chinese Spy. T continue being a good group. CB Hydra being in Freljord again. I think rightly or wrongly, right now you've got it. If you're measuring the gold standard currently of teams, CB Hydra with Ocean, Split Braid Trucks, like they certainly should come in as one of the favorites by anyone. You may support your team completely understandably, but CB should definitely be in this. Hydra should be in one of the better discussions for top teams in the league, and then. Demacia is also fantastic because we've got a lot of orgs who've been in the scene for a long time. You've got Conduit, you've got Hyperion, you've got CB. Conduit having, Dobbs, Vandrel, GVG, who is a fantastic mid laner. There's a lot of talent on, there and a lot of veteran organizations. So Demacia is looking good too. Again, with Noxus, we've just got, the addition of the Slurp Squad. They're a very good team. I expect them to continue to take a step forward. They're going to be a great challenge. And once more, they bring a lot of color into that particular division because before that, it was just basically mostly black, white, and a little bit of red. So,
fair enough. And Ish, what are your thoughts? What do you think is the strongest division right now? And what do you feel is the weakest division right now?
Oh, Ish messaged me saying he has to mute for a bit.
okay.
All good. Okay, well, Bully
get
or
talking?
Feathers. Either one of you can take it.
I mean, That Ionia just division actually looks filthy right now. Like
Mhm.
really solid. I have more. I think they're actually all looking pretty decent, but that Iron is still looking like the group of death right now.
Mhm.
And again, shout out as well to Conduit Esports saucers. Having spent a little bit of time around them, that by no means is a slouch of a roster. You've got Shrouds, you've got No Name, even CBXL, yeah, DZG. Like that group is playing together in multiple leagues. I expect a good result for them, and I think in general, in the Freljord division, there could definitely be some sleeper results. If at any point any team is able to provide a substantial resistance to CB Hydra, I think again that you're gonna have to look at them, and in some of those cases, just simply getting out of that division means that people may underestimate them when come playoff time. So.
All right, fair enough. Well, we have definitely more teams that we need to add on this board. So I think it's about time that we start rolling off the next team in Demacia.
Let's do it.
It is TSF Retribution. On that team, we have CC 3025, Cobber, TSF Inertia, TSF Stealth, and TSF Royal. That is the next team that will be added into Demacia. And whenever you're ready, let's see who we add into Ionia. What do we got? It is Mythical Esports Hydra. Let's see if we can pull that up real quick. I believe, let me find that roster.
This roster was actually they
AFK Outlaws, yeah.
yeah they just name
Mhm.
changed.
Yeah. So up in the top line, we do have Holy Ninja 16, Raynor, Molly Wops, I Enders, and Marty I'm Scared. As the next team pulled into Ionia. So let's see who we got in Noxus next.
It's happening. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Wheels taking a couple seconds. Glad we didn't put 32 teams on it. Think it would break. TD Embrace. All right. Starting to kind of fill out that division. And on TD Embrace, we have Steelfan, Nightmare Hall, Rendleman, Spiritless, Katheem 1106, and Dion Atlas.
Yeah, it's a couple people from NSG, from what I remember.
Mhm.
Looks like
Yeah.
they did go over to a new org.
Yeah. We have Glacial Carnage with honestly a large roster. We have GC Legend Kimchi, Cuban Dom, GC Donkey Kong 69, Mobe, Zerrex, GC
Oh.
Violet. What's up?
Zerrex is on the roster.
Absent chat Zerrex. What I meant to say is GC Violet, GS Dawn, GS King, and Fluffy Knight for the Glacial Carnage roster in Freljord.
Did you say who the TSF roster was?
I did.
Okay.
Do you need
That was the one. Would you like a refresher?
Sure, go.
That was the one with CC3025, the Cobber, TSF Inertia, TSF Stealth, and TSF Royal.
Gotcha.
All right, we have one more, I believe we need to roll for Freljord to see what we're going to get there. Conduit Esports Ghost.
Wait.
Oh,
Okay, that puts 2 in there. So no more conduit
Yeah.
in that division.
I think that's all the Conduit teams anyway.
No, there's one more.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Spark. Okay, so, I mean, Noxania or Demacia is where it's going to end up in. So I believe that was, let me pull it up real quick. Conduit Esports, Ghost consists of Sork, Mini Beast, JR, NTR.
Wait, what?
That's
Wait,
a
no.
going. That's going
That's-
ghost.
Let's go
Let's
and
go
Ghost.
Ghost.
Yeah, no, you're right. I pulled up the wrong one.
Wrong ghost.
Yeah,
wrong
wrong
Ghost. My apologies. I
it's-
just debated everyone there.
I mean, top is Great Ribman, Jungle Black Eyed Peas, Merciful Crow, Glada, and Yipsy. I'm gonna go ahead and roll the next one.
All right. Where do they end up on the dock? Oh, that's why. Yeah. TDS Knights up next. On that roster, if I can get it to work,
You're not
we
gonna get it to
have
work.
it's dying right now. We have Bisham Olsen, I don't know. Little Phoenix, Swedish Pancakes, Not So Dark, Ceased and Assist, Bulldog, Uncle Crow, and a lot of W's and a lot of G.
Yeah, they did have a roster change. They said it to us. It was like earlier. What was it, yesterday? So that wasn't updated on this sheet, but they did have a roster change in mid lane. They added a new player mid and then put another team or player added sub.
Mm-hmm.
Did I remove them from the wheel? I think I did. All right, cool.
All right. Let me see. We got in Ionia next. PE Genesis. And that cannot
They
go there,
cannot.
so it will be in Demacia.
Noxus. Wait, are we going back? Wait, we are going back. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going.
Yeah. So they'll be in Demacia, so we need to roll to see who we get now in Ionia. So just remove Genesis and we'll go for the next one. Yeah.
Yep.
Pop
Oh
there
wait,
knows
did
what's
we?
up.
Wait, hold
Hmm.
on. Did we accidentally not go double in Freylord?
No, we did. We did Glacial Carnage,
Oh,
I
we did,
think,
we did,
and then
we did.
Conduit TDS
Okay,
Knights,
yeah.
and then we just rolled. Yeah, we just need to
Second.
roll for Ionia, and then we can talk about the next 8 teams that we just picked.
Correct.
Let me go T Genesis real quick though before we
Mhm.
roll. We got too carried away with having to move them over. So EE Genesis, one of the names that barely fits on our list. So up in the top lane, it is Warrior Tofu, TEJJ, Ball Slap, Aquaret, Akino Simp, and T minus Boom. So we've seen a few of these players before. Good to see them back within the league. And let's roll the last team that we need to add to Ionia. It is Conduit Spark. Conduit Esports Spark. So that actually works out. All the Conduit teams are accounted for.
Yep.
And on... Uh-oh.
I'd go
The
back
search.
to Demacia.
The search function is not working for this team. Where
It's at the
I'm
bottom.
looking for it.
It's
I'm
a-
getting there.
I'll say it.
Go for it.
Well, it's top lane, Squig. Jungle, TA Batman. Mid lane, JJH. ADC, Old Man Genetics. And support, Mr. Steal Your Camp. With ain't easy being cheesy. And then Helium Bamboo as subs.
All right. So we've added 8 teams now across these 4 divisions. And we're going to start off with Ish. Hopefully you've been able to keep up with us. What are your thoughts on these additional teams within the divisions? Do they kind of skew one way in terms of strength, or is everything kind of staying to what you've seen so far?
I would say for just based off of name recognition, Spark seems to be the most strongest from these 8 picks so far. A bunch of names that I've heard before play on playoff level teams. I definitely think they'll be a contending team. I wasn't able to hear the TD Embrace roster, but TD is also a solid org. They also have playoff appearances, so I definitely think that they will, be up there. Um, Aside from that, I don't. I'm not very familiar with the rest of the names, but yeah.
All right, fair enough. And feathers and fur.
All right. First of all, again, the additions for Demacia. I'm if I had the opportunity and I wasn't playing, I'd be circling the TSF Retribution versus Hyperion Gaming Heretics game because that's Attila versus Attila's Orc versus Velos, and that's going to be that'll be at least fantastic in regards to trash talk. Again, just remember, you got to talk trash before the game, not after
Yes,
it.
please.
In order to be able to talk trash after it.
And make sure it's in trash talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make sure it's in trash
Or
talk.
on Otter Talk. But yeah.
Additionally, TSF, 2-1 in AGL in regards to Norg, relatively solid. Demacia just continues to have kind of it's a sampler platter right now of all sorts of different orcs. For the most part, obviously Conduit's, split up between, two, but there's a CB team, there's a TE team, there's a lot of options there. I'm definitely appreciating that. Ionia, the addition of Conduit Esports Spark, I'm just going to be blunt. It's going to be a shame that one of those teams, even with just what's listed, is going to miss playoffs out of the ones they're just on the left side. Whether that's one of the TE teams, Litmon, or Going Ghost or Spark, or even Mythical Esports Hydra, who I would also argue is relatively underrated. In regards to my division, TD, well-known organization, long history of success. Even some of the people on their roster, former NSG players who are very good that I respect having played against them. And then, obviously, I think even in general, the team that people have glossed over a little bit is Conduit Esports Ghost. Not really mentioned as much. That's quite a roster, having played with some of them in Ipsy and Glada, and, Peas being an extremely capable jungler who I believe won last split or with the CB team, I'm not sure. But either way, again, consistent record in regards to results definitely makes Freljord a far more stronger division with them in it. So.
All right. Well, I believe we have a few more teams we need to add to each division before we are done with the draw show for gold. So let's get going. See who we got next. Piltover Hopes. On that roster, we have Big John 1999, Nikolai K, the Cactus Thief, Lamb Astasul, Larene, Scorp Commander,
Here, buddy.
Fultius, Kiwi, Casual Ginger, and Royal Jelly. Some of these names, I mean, but yeah, so that's the roster.
Some of them aren't on that roster, I believe.
Okay.
Anymore, but yeah, you definitely struggled there.
Yeah, thanks guys, appreciate it. Piltover Pokes, I'll be keeping an eye on you guys this season. No, but let's see who we got in Ionia next. I don't know why every season we pick me to do the names. Oh man.
It's okay, he'll survive. All right.
This is Mystic Cat's Gold. Up in the top lane. Starting top laner for Mystic Cat's Gold is Garfield Juice, IC Memes, Clumsy Chocobo, Squints, Blue 17, Bees Are Us, Super Hoagie, and Opie. Those are some names. Let's see what we got Noxus next.
My predictions are.
Oh, predictions for the spin? Go ahead, give me one,
Yeah.
Feathers.
I said I feel like Rar's coming into Noxus.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it would just be proper and right.
Okay.
Oh,
Someone's got the script.
Clip it!
Right up in Noxus. All right.
Dang. How did he find out about the script?
Well,
That's supposed to be a secret and BOL Plus members only.
yeah. Bully, who do we got in the Raw roster? Oh, okay. Just kidding.
Oh,
We spawned
sorry.
it on accident.
Sabiza. Oh.
Oh, what?
Yeah, TD bootleg a visa.
Uh,
All right, we need to take
alright.
the script back.
That was a trial, free trial.
So go ahead and give me the rundown on the Raw roster, and I'll do bootleg Ibiza for us next.
Okay. For RAR, we have top lane, Islamic Samurai, jungle, Doki for the win, FTW. Mid, Mui, ADC, Stank, support, LF APM girlfriend, or GF, and then they have quite a bit of subs, but I'll keep it at that.
All right, fair. Are we sure that's what FTW means? On his name?
It might be, yeah, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, probably not. Maybe it is.
Wasn't sure if we knew. I wasn't sure if it was like Doki, like Frank T. Wells or something like that. I don't know. Just want to make
What,
sure.
his like initials?
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Just curious if we ever knew what the FTW actually meant. All right.
Franklin Thomas Westworth.
There you go. Could be. We never know. We don't judge here. So, I believe I'll do Kitty Bootleg Ibiza. Up next, it is Zycron here for you. Rigamortis, Lucas, Adishon, CHJ, and Worm Jones.
I mean, back to the CB and TD name
Mm-hmm.
for, I guess, Bootleg Ibiza. I mean, these teams, a lot of these players did play on the CB Ibiza team that won. So they pretty much took it and is like, you know what? Taking our talents to TD.
Yeah, just like LeBron took him to South Beach. Up next, the last team in Freljord. I would like it to be CB Shield because I just want to see how ridiculous the other names get on the wheel. But I don't ever get my way. It is Nameless Asylum.
Gotta be subscribed to the Otter Plus for the script.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at that apparently.
Hey, you know what?
Nameless
If you
Asylum.
want a lot of fantastic emotes that our wonderful producer Pop Tart made,
True.
all Otter emotes, only $2.99, and it does support the league, supports Pop Tart, supports my Taco Bell addiction. No more Taco Bell for me. I'm getting fat, but it does support the league. We do run a large cost every season, and
True.
you know, anything helps. But even just watching
Mainly-
here and watching the ads that we'll play will also help.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we cut down on our Taco Bell each season, if we could save a little bit more money, but we'll see.
Dude,
Up in the top lane. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I lost all my money in FTX. I'm just kidding.
No.
BOL was sponsored by FTX.
Yeah, that's why we're broke.
Yeah,
Up in
oh,
the
no.
top lane for Nameless Asylum, it is Spread Them Cheeks, Key Smash, 3D, IMDO, Faulty, HT Helix, and Bergen. Those, I believe, are all of your teams within Freljord.
Sure is.
Yep. In Noxus, who do we got? SNC Radiant Twilight. All right. See who we got in Ionia. Oh, wait, no. I just skipped over them.
Sure
I
did.
I was ready to go next. Sorry about that, SNC. We have SNC Ejun up in the top lane, Big Boy PK, Roots, Atreus, and Laws for SNC Radiant Twilight lineup. I'm like 50-50. I think it's going to be CB Shield, but I've been wrong the entire time. Feathers, who's it going to be?
I'm not. Again, I've shot my shot. I've called my call already. I'm good.
Yep.
All right, I'm just going to keep going until I get it. All right, CB Shield. Let's roll it.
It's not going to be Sheepy Shield.
Oh.
Came so close. It is the Degenerate Esports Eternal.
Which that
They
means
might have the longest name in the Gold League, actually.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that will place CB Shield in Demacia.
Yeah. So the
Fantastic.
Degenerate Esports Eternal, Dag Akira, Anubis, Kylo Risky, Dag Bixus, and TTV Santa Dylan 98. And for CB Shield, we have Outrage, CB Sir Jackson, Induced AFK Boulder, and CB Kills.
All right.
Ish, what are your thoughts here?
What do we got here? Based off everything I've seen so far, I think the number one teams in each group would be CB Shield for Demacia. And then for Ionia, I'd say Conduit Spark. Noxus, I would go with the Epidemic. And then for Freljord, I'd say Hydra, CB Hydra.
All
with
right.
a Hydra versus. Well, actually, I don't know how the playoff format will go, but I'd say Hydra and Spark would be like the top two teams, in my opinion.
Okay. Fair enough.
You know, how long until the epidemic starts asking to remove their roles?
I think I have to have them first, so at least a couple days. Feathers.
All right. Before we get started, I'm taking time to shout out these last 8 teams because they deserve their time in the sun as well.
Mhm.
First of all, the additions to Demacia, Piltover Pokes. I had heard somebody saying, oh, well, jokingly in the chat, oh, they're putting all the no-name orgs over in Demacia, and then all of a sudden the CB Shield gets thrown in there. There's a great deal of storylines in Demacia. There's a great deal of talent in Demacia. In general, I would find it extremely difficult to pick a top 4 teams right there, right off the bat. I think there's for sure far more than meets the eye there. I think CB Shield is obviously a top tier team, but who is going to join them? Hard to say. I think a lot of teams have a lot of strengths there. Ionia, even gets Degenerate, Esports Eternal, Degenerates being another one of those orgs that was well known in the scene. Ionia continues to be, in my eyes, kind of again the group of death. A very good team is going to miss the playoffs, and I don't think you can afford to take any weeks off in Ionia. Noxus, I call Doki coming home, but again, it's going to be really interesting to see Doki go up against some of the junglers in this division, whether that's Bread or others. It will be fun for better or worse. And Islamic Samurai as well as Mui are both relatively strong and capable players. Lastly, for Freljord, Adishon, CHJ, you can't obviously sleep on Bootleg Ibiza. Good deal of talent there, and then to add even in a nameless team, there's ample storylines and ample organizations in each single division, and that's just simply a fact. I think there's a lot of competitive divisions, and I still stand by my thing from the start that I feel Ionia is the group of death.
All right. That is going to do it for us on the Gold Draw Show. We're going to throw to a quick break. And when we are back, we have the Platinum League to chit chat about. But we will be back in just a few minutes. We've done IBS, we've done gold, so you know what time it is. It's time for Masters. Psych, it's platinum time. Joining me is EQ Otto, and of course, wonderful producer Pop Tart and the bully. Otto, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Excited to get into this, see who lands where, get to see which groups are going to be groups of death, which ones are going to be groups of life.
True. Hopefully, you got some hot takes for this one. I mean, right off the bat, honestly, let's jump into it. We got two leagues or two divisions within this league, Shurima and Targon. If you were paying attention, it's pretty much the same setup as IBS.
I mean, I don't expect people to tune in for IBS if they're playing a platinum. I'll be completely honest.
For sure.
But I'll go ahead and just go over the format again. Of course, there's two divisions, 8 team each. Of course, you see it's Shurima and Targon. Each team will play a best of 3 single round robin against the teams in their division. At the end of the season, the top 5 teams in each division will go to playoffs. But the 4th and 5th seeds from each group will play in a wild card match. For example, the Shurima 5th seed will play against the Targon 4th seed, and then the top 3 teams in each division will just have a first round bye. So, of course, it's a little bit more lenient. Even if you have a bad start, you have a chance of getting that 5th slot. You're able to try to make the dream come true of making from the 5th seed. We have seen it before. There was a team that went from as a 5th seed, reverse swept in the wild card, and then they reverse swept in the next round. So it's totally possible, and maybe we'll see again this season.
Yeah, we always love a good underdog story here at Blue Otter. But without further ado, I think it's time to roll Shurima.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start.
Right off the bat, one of the new teams or orgs that we really haven't seen within this league, it is Master McNasty with PQ, Papa Cooks, Quantum, Bongo Bong, Chest Die 42, and YC Hawk 01.
Yeah, I've never seen those players, so definitely new.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
and such, don't really know anything about them. Like, very, very new roster, very new name. Have basically zero info on them, so they could come out and surprise at the very least.
And we love to see new teams within the league. It's always a great sign. But you know what team's not new? CB Rangers. Starting up with Crime on the top lane, Black Eyed Peas, Barack, Level 1, Ratata, and Peacemaker 9669. I swear I've played a little bit of Pokemon before. Don't worry.
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
CB, the organization, has pretty much always been very, very competitive. I remember CB Rush back just whenever I was playing like 6-7 months ago, was always at the top of pretty much every tournament that they were playing in. So if CB Rangers is anything comparable to them, then we could definitely see them hitting like the top half of pretty much any standings they land in.
Yeah, and actually Rangers did win gold last season, and I believe only one of them. Actually, the Peacemaker get yeeted as well, but at least one did, Brock, so he will test his talents in plat. He did play before in platinum, did very well, so they'll see the roster looks pretty solid. I think they have a lot of just competitive experience in general that could kind of beat some of these stronger looking teams on paper, but they're not going to have the coordination that CP Rangers do.
Yeah, we'll see if Barack decides to bring out his infamous mid lane Ezreal pick like normal. Up next,
a long time ago.
I know, and I flame him for it every chance I get. Up next in Target, it is GP's Oranges. Grab their roster real quick. On this team, up in the top lane, it is Rise of the Fallen, Cal 1 Burn, I'm just in a game, Slowbra, and the Complimenter. Honestly, that's kind of a breath of fresh air if you play with the Complimenter. It's very anti what most of the times happens with the flame that occurs in the league or in the games that you play in solo queue. So up next in Shrim, it is New World Esports Orion. on that team, we have Zeke up in the top lane, the return of Denali the King, Easy, Boogie, and Mental Boomer.
They never changed it, but yeah. So looks like they're gonna be Omen now, but no, they're definitely Orion. It's okay. It's
It's all
okay.
good.
We'll get a change for the roster sheet.
Fair. All right. Let's do half of them and then we can chat.
Sure.
Thanks for sticking with us as we just go through rosters here, Otto.
Yep.
Oblivion Esports Ruby. Take a look at them. Blue Eagle 0717 up on the top lane. Wintick in the jungle. JF Chaotic in the mid lane. Ravensman and Neoblade in the bot lane.
We got the bad man Ravensman from Victorious in here.
Mm-hmm. All right, what do we got in Targon?
Take your pick. Who do you think is gonna show up?
Shadow Z Plat. That's my guess. I have
It's
to
gonna
get these right eventually.
I think it's gonna be Dorado Gaming Sigma.
Okay. How about you, Otto?
I'll go with Mr. Cat's Black.
All right.
Let's go and spin the wheel. We all suck.
Elysian Blaze. All right. Let's look real quick here. Elysian Blaze. Nick Laws in the top lane. ELY Chihuahua. OP Kill Switch. Idrees. ELY Alec. And I believe that's ELY Grand Canyon. Name was a little too long to fit in the cell. Let's see the fourth team now for Targon. All right, Otto was the closest. We'll give him that. Mr. Cat's Black.
This is the return of the Miscats.
What all I'm saying is their kryptonite not here.
I mean, I think that was everyone's kryptonite.
You know what? That's a valid point. We've gotten that. It was Superman. We got rid of Superman this season, so we have a chance. But up at the top lane, it is Govey, Washing Hands, Fwesh, Cornstar, Tambo, Garfield Juice, Maye, and Chad Penguin.
Mr. Cats, from what I remember whenever I was playing just a few months ago and such, they were never quite like the best team, and I know they were always like contending for that #1 spot or just right underneath winning almost everything they were in. So if they can continue that, we're pretty sure to get very, very competitive Targon at least.
Yeah. And we'll get to kind of talking about the two divisions in just a second once we add TA Capybara, who I think has a great logo, actually. Who doesn't love? They're just so
great.
cute.
That is half the
Mhm.
half the teams.
Yeah, so TA Capybara, Masuf up in the top lane, something corny, Titan, Yoey, Adam, and Antuck. So right off the bat, we've seen half the league pick so far. Otto, give me your thoughts. Who's the stronger division? Who's the weaker division? Or do you see any specific standouts within Shurima and Targon here?
I'm fairly unfamiliar with some of the teams from Shurima. From what I can understand, NWE, Omen, they have a couple of interesting players on there, but most of the attention that I know and most of the teams that I know are from Targon, CB Rangers, Elysian Blaze, Mr. Cat's Black. They're the more well-known organizations, so it's definitely becoming more and more weighted towards Targon. I remember just a few months back when Mr. Cats were playing. I can't remember if it was a CB roster or something like that, but their mid laner has pretty much always been like a very, very like stable player and able to snowball games. So if he's able to continue being that sort of rock in the mid lane and able to get through in like the tougher competition, I'm more than willing to say that Targon is probably going to end up being the stronger of the two so far, at least.
All right, fair enough. Bully, out of these 8, what's your top team here?
I think that New World Esports. Should I call him Omen? Nah, I'll call him Orion. I think they are looking super strong. There's still a lot of question marks. Of course, I haven't seen Oblivion Esports Ruby, Master Week Nasty, Elysium. I know they played in other leagues, but I've never seen them personally. In GB's Orange, all question marks. I think I have to go with my gut and say NWE Orion is the best team.
Okay.
But I could be totally wrong.
Fair enough. Well, let's find out the remaining teams that we have, and let's spin that wheel and see who lands in Shurima. Shadow Z Plat. I would eventually get to him. You know, we got there eventually. With Young Rat up in the top lane, Taliban Karthus, Mui, Archer, and MCAT.
Return of Archer.
Yeah.
Missed him. It's been a long time.
It's always good to see people returning.
Oops. Spin.
Gives you that kind of history and like we mentioned in gold, like some potential beef. Dorado Gaming, Sigma, and Targon.
Yeah, and you know, Dorado's rosters are always very, very good. And that's
Yes.
what teams have to worry about.
Yeah. So with Newfies up in the top lane, Banger, Sluter, Matt G, Griffin, and Hoshiumi. That's the first weeb name that
They
we've
actually
encountered.
have a different
Oh, they do.
support
Okay.
now.
Okay.
So, but they do have still a solid roster.
Yeah, they're always very competitive when the leagues they play in. Up next, let's see the next Targon. Oh,
Didn't
what's
take
up?
Sigma out. Whatever.
Uh-oh, what's taking about
Hopefully
next?
it's not Sigma.
Nope, it's not. You lucked out. Degenerate
what up?
Exiles. Let me pull them up real quick.
All right, that team, Tenet versus Esports Abyss, they're getting kind of
All right.
squished over there.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Otto.
Let's hear it. Come on.
How do you say your top player's name?
Hajime no Gildo.
Okay, Hajime no Gildo, Shadow,
Can I buy
Saruman,
him a name change?
Waymade, EQ Auto, Sovereign, and Callbox. Because this is your team, are you happy with being pulled in a Targon?
It's definitely the harder of the two groups, but
Okay.
that's always like the more fun of the two groups because if you stomp everybody, you get to trash talk as much as you want.
Fair.
Once it gets to like we can discuss everything. We can go to like off-season talks and such, and like I can go into a little bit about like backstory, like how this team
Sounds
actually
good.
started up.
Yeah, sounds good. And we'll ask how you feel once it's all done, like what you feel you're gonna place. Let's see what we have next in Shurima.
Bets on Dorado.
Okay. Well, you would be wrong. It's a GEM.
No, I called it, dude. GEM.
Another team we've seen quite a few seasons now.
Yeah.
Glad they returned.
I know. At this point, I think they're getting school credits for playing in BOL. I'm not gonna lie.
We have 2006 Honda Insight, Snake Venom 645. My apologies. Shockwave 53. Sopric? Aesthetics?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Cosmic Love, Strika, and Hide on Balls. For GE Emerald. And we have one more team to pull into Shurima here.
Should do. Wait, no, we don't.
We have two more teams.
Yeah, come on.
Like, I was not great at geometry. Can't help it. PE Abyss. So let me pull them up real quick. Come on, help me out. There we go. K7 show off UP Count Doku, not to be confused with Dooku, but Doku. Henry Rocks 22 XTX Viper Manager.
They actually
Jaredon.
okay,
Oh.
So they have a
Some roster
couple of
changes?
roster changes.
Okay.
Yeah. Puccello was actually removed from that.
Gotcha.
Jolif was moved to sub, and then K7 was added to starting top. In case I'm
Got you. Okay. Yeah, I see that on the changes right now. But then we have Dramoni Slayer, Noctate, and King Zero. We'll get the full roster changes updated soon. We just need teams to stop changing their rosters 10 minutes before the show.
True. It's not 10 minutes. It is a couple
But no,
days ago.
not everyone. Not everyone. Just a few.
There's no way we get 2 Dorado teams in my group, right? Like, we're not
Maybe.
doing that? Okay.
Well, we are getting that.
You are getting that.
Now, I imagine you're real mad about being pulled into Targon.
It's going to be a filthy group.
Yeah, it's a rough group already. Dorado Gaming New with Moonshot EQQ, Sleep Call Now, SWBF, and Zend 12. All right.
And
What's
now,
the
like,
last team?
Now we just need First Class and Targon, and it's just the ultimate group.
I think it's first class. I'm calling it now. It's first class. XE,
I'm more of an
XE
economy
gaming.
class type of guy.
Fair, honestly.
Then this is going to determine the last 2.
Oh, XG Lightning. All right, you lucked out. XG Lightning in Targon.
I don't know if he lucked out.
You know
Let me
what? That's a good team. That's a valid point.
Let me go see real quick.
I've never heard of them. I've heard of First Class. That will hold that there and just say that I can be happy with the fact that I haven't heard of them, and we can just keep me ignorant of the fact that they're probably going to be the better team in here.
Actually, hold up. Never mind. Not first class. Does look like a really good team on.
So we have Mint, Cardinal, Phoenix Flare, Juicebox, Prim, and Improvise for XG Lightning. And in first class, we have you know they're good when they all have FC in their name. Hold up, let me sit up right here. FC Bruiser 2012, FC Truest, FC Solum, Peace Pipe 13. All right, come on, man, get with the program. And FC Heptic. Yeah, on
Peptic,
paper, this roster looks really good, actually.
Wait, was Peptic in the league last season? I think it was. There's no way. Let's see. Maybe not. Never mind. He wasn't. Or they weren't. But yeah, that would be every team. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I didn't realize it because, first of all, Platinum was a lot more easy to handle. Unfortunately, there were a ton of Platinum applications, and we had to cut it down to 16. So it's apologies for the teams that didn't make it. If we could support more, we would have done so. But just overall, we originally, I said like Orion was the best team in the first 8 that were selected, but then you got a ton of solid teams that came in the next 8, and it does honestly look decently close in terms of like average competitive nature in both divisions. But one thing that I wanted to like, Dorado Gaming Sigma, that was one team that popped out and was like, wow, this team is going to be filthy. And putting them in the group with like Miss Cats, Degenerate Exiles, and then of course another new team, I do think Sigma's better than new. It already looks like that's going to be like a top 3 in division. I don't know how actually Lightning's going to be, but obviously they're probably going to come out to play, and they're going to have a tough climb against some of these good teams. And then that also brings me to, CP Rangers, solid team. They need to just bring the house against these other 7 teams in the division.
My team spent like 2 months getting a roster together, practicing, getting ready, and you drew us into a
Oh yeah, that also reminds me that like GP's Oranges is really, I think they don't have a cap exception, but like their players all platinum ranked last season.
Maybe I just shouldn't have come. Is this like a hazing thing? Do we do the real draw afterward? Like, what is this, dude?
Oh no. Well, on the bright side, top 5, and if you make playoffs, you're in a good spot within this division.
Oh, easily, yeah. Like if you can get to playoffs in Targon, I think that it's like Freelo. But like, granted, I have no idea who like 4 out of the 8 teams are in Shurima, so they could just be the best of the tournament, and I just don't know.
Mhm.
But like, I was just like leaning back in the chair. We got through the first set, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, Mystic Cats, Elysian Blaze, CB Rangers, Targon looking a little bit stronger, and then you drew 2 Dorado teams and then us for Targon,
Mhm.
and I'm just like holding my head up. Oh, it's so doomed.
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, anything any of you would like to add before we wrap up the draw show tonight?
You want to talk a little bit about like off-season rumors and shit? That
Yeah, go for it. You know, if you have inside information, by all means, spell it. It's a great time to do it.
I could just talk about like the stuff that we went through in the off season, but like
Sure, go for
it's
it.
been like I said, we've been building a roster for like 2 months or so, right?
Mhm.
Most of that we built around our jungler and such, but we noticed that Hypnotic Scruff, he used to be, I think, Dorado Gaming Sigma's mid laner. We approached him with an offer, but unfortunately, he like hit finals of like the Diamond League or something, and so
Mhm.
even though he follows the rank restrictions, he's not allowed to play. So we just kept going, finding mid, and we finally just settled on, okay, we'll just promote a substitute. And so we had signed Saruman earlier, but he's getting married. Like, what a loser. And so now Colebox is our mid laner, like our starting mid, and then I think there was one guy, I think his name was like Yash or something, he'd gotten a roster that was supposed to be getting into the Flat League, but I guess they like didn't make it, so like sucks to be you, dude. Maybe you should have signed on.
Oh no.
But dude, gotta be toxic where I can. I have like 3 minutes on here that I'm never allowed on again.
We have a very short list of people who are not allowed back on again, and you're all right, I know. But
But if you're a BOL Plus member,
true, you would instantly get back. All right. With that, though, thank you everyone for coming out. Hopefully, you got a favorable group draw. With that, though, as you all know, every league will start next week, except for Masters, which will be pushed back one more additional week as we look to fill a couple people who dropped the last second. Best of luck. Hope you all have a great weekend. We'll be rolling out the roles, your team roles, the roster, and the schedule throughout the next couple of days.
it'll be Saturday night at the best. Of course, I had
working on
mentioned
it,
it.
though.
We all
Yeah.
work quite a bit. Our schedule sucks, but that's the plan of getting everything done.
Mm-hmm. Thank you all. Have a great night. We're going to throw you guys over to CCS, and we will catch you all next week.